I'm glad it didn't depress you. I thought it would have made people great.
No, not at all.
I try to do the dance, the kind of the movement, and I can't do it.
Kind of based it on Ricky Fulton and Jack Milroy.
Wow.
Their movement. That's kind of what I take it for.
Do you?
That's pretty deep.
Yeah, I love Ricky Fulton.
Yeah.
He's probably, the Reverend I Am Jolly was probably my favourite New Year thing in the whole wide world. Every New Year, sit and watch him go, hello. It literally was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
That was brilliant.
The deadpan face, no emotion.
Aye.
Oh, for no, honestly, the funniest. So he was.
You can't see it, but Ross is doing the face just now. It's brilliant. I love it.
Face, but it is brilliant right now.
No emotion.
The emotion.
Oh, on that, right? And I probably shouldn't say this, right?
Oh, God.
My mum and my stepdad decided to get drunk whilst they were painting, and this is a true story, right? So, they obviously had a bit of an argument. My stepdad decided that he would run the roller up and down her face. So they had a big fight next, and this is the weirdest part of it. Like, my mum called the police. Right, so it was a big Barney. So my mum called the police because she got paint all over and it was all over her hair and everything, right? But he decided to go and hand himself in before the police came to get him. So he's in the police. Could you imagine walking in the police station, right? I'd like to hand myself in. And why are you here, sir? Because I painted my wife. But that's not even the best. But my uncle was sitting, obviously, after it was about a week or two after it, we had family dinner at my gran's and they were all talking about it, and my uncle just piped in. I think they were talking about it. My uncle just piped in, aye, that's because Anne was overcome with emotion. And I thought that was a really witty thing to say. But imagine handing yourself into the police station to say you painted your wife, not that you battered her, not that it was a domestic, just that you painted her. I don't know
What colour?
I was
white.
thinking.
It was white. It was for the ceiling.
Sure it was paint.
Oh,
okay.
I need to rethink my whole life now.
And they were only calling it emotion.
Oh no.
But it was emulsified.
So how did you get into TikTok then?
Through lockdown, bored out my skull, and I thought, I'm going to download this TikTok and see what it's all about, and just start making content. Started lip syncing and then just decided to start making my own content. And the video that made me take off was my impression doing Ricky Fulton, Reverend I Am Jolly.
Oh, brilliant.
That made me take off. I've just had loads of lovely comments with folk telling me that I cheer them up or make them laugh and make them smile every day.
Yeah.
I don't really get that much hate. Not to be big-headed, but I don't really get that much hate. I had my first ever troll the other day. It said, folk laugh at you, no way. And I thought, well, at least I'm succeeding. At least I'm making them laugh and not making them great.
Yeah.
So at least I'm succeeding in a way, I suppose, and making them laugh. And the way I see it, if I can make one person laugh a day, then...
It's like the song, always look on the bright side of life. You just keep them laughing all the way you go.
Aye.
Doesn't matter if they're laughing at you or with you, if they're laughing.
As
And
long as they're laughing.
Yeah.
It's half the battle. Like, that's what was just, that you get your first hate today, and you know how we were talking about on the podcast with Doug Heed that I've not had hate.
you've got hate.
I got hate today.
Yes, that's a bit hard.
And it was racist and everything.
Oh no.
I reposted my video about me changing my Celtic tops to the big strong man. I get told to go back to Ireland.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I've only ever been to Ireland twice for on holiday. And do you know what? He's quite right. I do want to go back there. So so I'm going to book up. I'm going to go for a weekend away in Galway because that guy told me to go back to Ireland. Maybe he's been there. Maybe he's not been. In fact, maybe he's not giving me trolling me. Maybe he's just said he's forgot the rest of the sentence. Maybe he went was, do you know what you should do? You should go back to Ireland because it's a really good, beautiful place for a wee holiday. I don't know. But anyway, I get hate. But
Oh, now there's a plan. I've got a cabin out there in Donegal.
a cabin? Like in the middle of nowhere?
In the middle of nowhere. It's right at the
Oh, Paul signed himself up.
Hornhead. It's right at it's like right at the top of the water.
I love Donegal. It's my
Beautiful.
favourite place to go in the
You're
whole
going for a
world.
party.
You know? I think that's what we should
We're
do.
there, a couple of bottles of magic water and we're there.
Get
Magic water.
we'll get some potion.
Potion?
Fishing.
I used to
Made
live
from
near
Islands
Donegal.
Green.
But I stayed in Strabane, which is just over the border,
Hey.
relatively close to Donegal.
Right, noodles.
The best luck out of
I just heard what you said.
Paul could take some tips.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. That's what gets the girls. Just lie on your back and
I know.
jiggle.
I know exactly what gets the girls' Fraser. It's taking my top off and doing videos in the shower.
And thanks to me for, telling you to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I true. I take myself in the shower, folk run away.
Me too. Don't worry.
This is brilliant, baby. I know nobody can see this, but Fraser's wrestling with these dog noodles.
This is like you said dog noodles.
His dog's called Noodles, by the way.
I'm not playing with my noodle, honestly.
He's not playing with his dog's
That
noodles.
happens later.
Thank God Rossi actually said his dog's called noodles. Oh, too funny. Oh, that's hilarious.
And by the way, I've not got a very good fact for you today. Does anybody get any good facts? Well, in fact, we should ask our guest. Do you have any interesting facts that nobody really cares about?
No.
That was a good topic.
That's great. I'm glad to ask that
That worked
question.
really well.
Well, just cut that about, Fraser. Right, right, so keep going.
It's very free flowing.
Right, so now we know why you've got into TikTok and why you like TikTok. What do you do when you're not on TikTok?
Nothing. Literally nothing. I used to work, but I've just been made redundant.
Oh, no
Oh,
way.
really?
Aye.
What did you do?
Used to work in a big department store, but got made redundant. Used to work in Debenhams,
Oh, really?
Ah,
Britain's favourite department store.
Other department stores are available.
yeah,
Yeah, other
like Ann
department
Summers.
That's a department store, that's
Yeah.
yeah. Crystal Wilson, you would know that.
I prefer to do a shop online. It comes in a brown box, and nobody can see that you're a pervert.
Oh, God. One day we're going to see. So Paul said when he got to 10k that
Yeah.
he was going to be loosey goosey, right? So we've been waiting for this. He's now, what, 18k,
But probably about 19 in the next couple of days. Yeah.
19k, and loosey goosey's no made an appearance yet. So is that going to be the Ann Summers get up you're wearing for that?
No, I'm going to go conservative on that one. So it will be a polka dot dress, and it will be high neckline, and it will be below the knee. I don't know what they call. What did they call a below the knee dress? I don't know. I think
A
they've got-
maxi.
A maxi. That's the one. We're going to have a
Maxi.
maxi dress, right? And it's purple with pink polka dot. I just need somebody to do my drag makeup because I want rainbow eyeshadow. I want to look the part. I don't want to be half-arsing it, to be fair.
I follow a drag queen who lives in Glasgow. I'm sure we could arrange something.
Oh man, could we do that? We could do it we could do it here live. We could do that on our first live YouTube podcast, and I'll come in as Lucy Goosey. I don't know if I can do a very good. It was from a joke that I did. It was a joke video. I can't remember the joke now, but it was funny.
The joke was
right, ladies. Because I was a wee rant. I'm like, right, ladies. Do yous know that laughing makes your vagina tighter? Do ye? Well, good. Start watching my videos and like my videos, loosey goosey, or something along those lines.
Or you'll be a
What I was
loosey-goosey
basically
or
saying is,
something.
everybody who follows me, who's a girl who doesn't like my videos, you can throw a sausage up their close.
That's all you chat.
Well, that happens all the time.
But they don't find me funny. They find me sexy though. So we'll find my niche. You can't even say it. Come on, Paula. Say something.
I have been speaking. This is the thing. So last night, so the last time that I was on with Paul, when it was just me and Paul dominated, right?
Oh.
The chat. And then when we were on with Doug dominated the chat. I've not really dominated the chat as such compared to the two of yous. And now we have Rossi here, so it should be all about Rossi.
Yeah.
Speak, Ross.
So over to
Speak,
you,
Ross.
Ross.
Yours.
On your videos, obviously on a Friday and a Saturday night, you do your dancing and singing.
You call it dancing.
I love it. It's so just cheery and
The slosh and the alley cat.
I love this slosh.
Everybody loves the slosh. I request the slosh at every party I go to.
I'm not very
The
good at
slosh
it, though.
And the alley cat.
It's such an easy dance, but I can't do it.
So here's the question then. What is the right songs for the slosh or the alley cat?
Beautiful
Sunday,
Sunday.
aye. Has to be.
And the alley cat.
Knock 3 times.
Knock 3 times.
Oh yeah, we are the same people. But I was a DJ.
We are the same.
I was a DJ
maybe
in
if
my
you'd have
younger
a
years.
couple
Though.
more inches on you, Paul.
Yeah, I used to be a DJ
Where?
everywhere.
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 Where's everywhere?
Everywhere. Like I had a couple of residencies in pubs here or thereabouts. Probably don't exist anymore. The Bowlers in Brigton.
Dennis and
being one of them.
Pally.
That was great, man.
Yeah.
And then I just used to do
Barrel.
mobile stuff. a lot of mobile stuff. Like, it was a lot of younger ones I did. Dance night on a Saturday night in Brigton in the pub. There was a lot of young ones came to that, so I ended up doing all their parties and then kind of moved into kind of mobile stuff. And then I took on a residency. I don't know if I should say this, but it's in Muirhead. It was good. It was always jam packed. But yeah, it was a lot of mobile stuff, mostly mobile.
What we called? Just DJ Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul. I'm your DJ for the season.
Let's phone just Paul.
Yeah, I'm DJ Paul. Listen, it was.
What was the most requested song then?
Listen, it was probably the Slosh or the Alley Cat. Was probably the two main ones. But you done a variety. I remember I done a party one night and I walked in and I thought,
Beyonce.
Because obviously being a Celtic fan, so you walked in and it was just red, white and blue everywhere. And I'm like, this is going to be one of the nights, and I'm going to, and then can you play Simply the Best? And you know you play that song and then they've got the add-ons and I kid you not, there was a wee 70-odd-year-old granny who couldn't walk up the stairs to get into the party, but was in the middle of that dance floor singing. And then she was giving it all this, so I was like, "Wow, this is some party." But you see some sights in your mobile. It's brilliant. Like it's great, and I done everything from 18s to weddings. I done a lot of weddings. I've done a few in Musselburgh golf course, race course or golf course. I can't remember, but it was out that way. And I loved it. Loved DJing.
What was your strangest party?
Oh, I went into a bowling club. And there was 11 people at the party. 11. And
Was it a funeral?
and they did not dance. Not one person got up to dance.
I feel your pain.
And I can get anybody up to dance, like, because I'd normally have a couple of shandies, especially when I'd done the Muirhead Inn. Like, that was good because my wife at the time used to drop me off and pick me up, and I'd get heavy swallowed and I'd have everybody up. And the bar staff are getting up and dragging people off the tables because I had folk up on the tables giving it all this, and we played Come On Eileen and everybody's doing the dancing up on the tables, and what a night that was. No, it was a few nights. One night. No. It's a residency. No, but Barney was brilliant. We had Barney, the guy what behind the bar. He was the kind of bar manager at the time, and he's like, everybody up on the tables, and he was getting everybody up, and then the guy Alan and Alec that owned it were going about dragging people off. But so it's enough about me. It's more. Stop talking about me. Let's talk about somebody else for a wee change.
Well, what's your favourite song, Ross?
Oh no, I've got loads.
Because you do a lot of singing, so
Aye.
like, what if you were to pick a song to sing? What's your favourite song to sing?
But in karaoke, do you mean? Oh God, My Way.
Oh, My
To
Way.
be My Way.
It's a very cliche song. Everybody picks My Way.
What's
To be
yours?
My Way.
What do you sing if you're doing the karaoke, Paula?
Oh God, I don't know. There's quite a few songs I like. I like Always Remember Us This Way by Lady Gaga.
What about you, Fraser?
As a karaoke presenter, as a job, I do. I hate every song.
You hate every
Really?
song? See,
Yeah.
my song is Kenny Rogers The Gambler, and I have been told of... there's been twice that I've been told I'm really good at it. When I was really young, we went to Magluf, went into this wee bar, and up and sang it. I was only about 19 at the time, I think. And I went up the next night, and the guy had a sore throat, and he's like, Paul, come up and sing for me, will you? So I went up, and he's playing the guitar, and I sang The Gambler. And he's like, can you do any more songs? Because I'm not feeling it tonight. And I'm like, that's the only song I know, mate. And then I'm in the toilet, and the guy comes in behind me. Thanks very much, pal. And his pure Scottish accent in Magluf. I'm like, what's up, mate? He says, my wife's dragging me here every night just because you're singing The Gambler. So his wife's dragging me to this pub just for one song because I was in there every night. It was brilliant. Good laugh. But
Should maybe start getting our guests to sing, because there's a full karaoke system on that computer.
I know.
Rosie's like, oh God, tonight.
You should try it. That'd be quite fun, actually. We'd do a bit of karaoke podcasts. You'd need to get me drunk though, because I can't sing worth a fuck.
I can
I'll
get
drive that
anybody
night
drunk.
then. I'll drive that time.
I'll get rubber like that. Right, next one. No,
The Gambler. We'll do it again.
And I
Take
like
10.
No, I like not Jimmy Buffy. Who's the one? The other guy that sings it. 5 o'clock. It's 5
I
o'clock.
love
somewhere.
that song.
That's my other one I sing. The two songs that I sing now. But
Was that
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
That's Alan Jackson.
I'm a very big on country music, to be fair.
But we had this discussion. I love country music as well, and I like the song "Whiskey Lullaby," which is a country song. It's a country song by and there's another song by Clay Walker, which is called "Chain of Love." That's such a good song to listen to because it's kind of like, paying it forward, and that's what it's like in the song. That's what it talks about. If you do a good deed for somebody, they'll do it for somebody else, and you're passing it on and passing on the love.
Anything country. Zach Brown Band. Do you like any of that?
Zach Brown.
Oh, Chicken Fried or Toes.
Toes.
Oh man,
Toes.
brilliant. brilliant. They do another song in kind of beachy. All their songs are quite beachy. He's always singing about going somewhere that's nice, but brilliant. Aye, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Drink wise, you like red wine, don't you? Because I like red wine.
Gin, pink gin,
And what kind of red wine?
Malbec. What else?
Shiraz.
Oh, anything.
I like a red wine, and I like the gin as well.
I like any gin. Any gin.
Yeah, I'm a big gin drinker. Like that.
Rhubarb and ginger.
That's lovely.
Whitley Neal rhubarb and ginger. I'll drink anything, but anything that's put in front of me, I'll drink.
In fact, you should all come to the pub that I'm working, because it's dead quiet, it's out of the way, nobody's going to annoy you, and it's cheap.
Paula will have everybody up on the table.
And where is it?
Let's say, well, if I tell everybody, then they all know.
All right, tell me after this. That's probably better. Where is it?
It's in the tune, but it's not quite in the tune. But it's close enough that it's in the tune.
Yeah, but we'll not be going there anytime soon. She can't even visit somebody else in your house.
God, I better get out for my pasta and my toilet rolls and my magic wand.
Aye.
My queue.
Get it older now while you can, before midnight.
So you do karaoke in that pub then?
I used to, aye. I do, aye.
Right, we're going. Because I love karaoke.
Do you do karaoke somewhere? Like when you go out? No. No?
I sing in the
You come
horse.
across so confident, you know.
Very rarely.
You come across so confident on all your TikToks.
Very rarely.
Do you have to be drunk?
Aye.
Do you?
But most people do. That's not...
But man, usually I'm drunk when I'm on my lives.
Well, true. But on your actual, your videos and stuff, you're very confident.
But then I don't sing in them.
Why not?
Sometimes. I'd lose the followers if I started singing.
No, you wouldn't.
X Factor, here I come.
Not at all.
Karaoke Factor.
Karaoke Factor, that big good one.
We should have a TikTok karaoke competition.
Aye.
Well, I can't sing, so I'm out anyway. Like, I'll judge it.
See, I don't like karaoke when you get all the good singers. Oh my God, I can't be bothered with that shit.
Oh, it's
You're
good.
allowed to swear in this?
Yeah, you can do what you want.
I
Listen.
can't be bothered with that piss and you get a good singer and I'm like, it's karaoke. You're not supposed to be good, you're supposed to be shite.
How do you do that whole key change thing? Can you do that? Aye, make it, because I think I maybe need that. Maybe that's why I don't sound so good.
I think you should do your audition just now, because I've got another magic button on this desk, right?
No, I can't.
Are you ready?
And it's called the mute button.
Why have you never used that button before, Paul?
So what do you do?
Is it
Is it
after
put an echo in?
after 3?
An echo. It needs one of
Wow.
Oh.
I sound like I'm
What's
in a
that?
chapel.
Frozen.
Amen.
I nearly got down on my knee there, but that's not for the idea you're thinking.
Oh. No, but seriously, why
Paul's
do
going
people
to ask for that button every week, you know?
why do people put echo in though? Why?
Because it makes...
It does just make me sound better,
yeah, well, it's just because people have not given you the right echo.
right?
But it's there to make it
Because
a
I
bit
think I need the
softer.
key change. Know how great? Because some pubs I can go in and sing like in karaoke and I sound all right, and then other times you can go in and you sound awful.
Well, I've got about 25 versions of The Gambler on karaoke, and every single one of them is slightly different. Like the wording, the sounding, the key.
Yeah.
So if it depends on the presenter if they're going to give you like the standard one or...
Because I need it low because I've got quite a
No,
deep voice.
You've got quite a high voice. You've got a kind of voice like me.
Oh no, here we go.
Ah.
No, I've got quite a deep voice for a woman.
And a lot of people used to say...
Amazonian woman.
Yeah.
Amazonian. I knew that was coming back.
It's like you just remind me, you know how the film The Jiggle, when you see him walking down the street with a big tall woman, she's a huge bitch. 'Cause he's walking down holding her hand and he's doing this and he's a fully sized man and she's massive, like she must have been about 8 foot tall or something in that film. It was funny. That's brilliant. I love it. I just can't stand next to you though.
He's referring to me here.
I can't, like, I know I shouldn't in a modern day world feel emasculated standing next to a woman who's taller than me, but I just had bad experiences.
See, I don't have a lot of men that are taller than me, so for me, like, with you coming on here, Rossi, it's great because you're tall.
6'2".
It's great.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah, I'm just going to agree with you.
Yeah.
Because me and you are about the same size.
Oh man, I hate it. I don't hate being small. Like, it would have been nice to have an extra couple inches and be tall. Somebody did say to me once, would you like...
Paul's laughing at this joke before he says it.
See if I could give you £1 billion right now. See if I could give you £1 billion, but you had to have a 4-inch willy. Would you take it? I mean, would I take it? You're going to give me £1 billion and an extra 2 inches? You're fucking right, I'll take it.
Oh, the audience are the best.
Dearie me. And do you have friends and family? Do they follow you on TikTok?
Some of them.
Do they?
Aye. Mhm.
I have none of my family. Well, that's a lot. I have a wee cousin who's 11 and maybe a couple of cousins that are in their 20s, but that's literally it. I don't have none of my friends, I would say, really outside of TikTok have ever followed me.
I know my aunt and uncle follow me.
Really?
Aye. And some of my friends follow me as well.
That's amazing.
Aye, because you don't really have, you just have
My
Abby.
daughter.
Aye, Abby.
That's it. I think my sister's on TikTok, but we don't follow each other. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we don't.
Because Paul doesn't follow him back for about
Probably.
10 months later.
But do you know what my daughter did put? Know how the trend that's going about, you can't hurt me, you can't embarrass me. And it's because I'm bulletproof, right? So my daughter tagged me in a video yesterday and it says, you can't embarrass me because my dad is at Donna Stoner official.
That's brilliant.
I'm like, oh, she's just so switched on. It's unbelievable,
Right,
isn't she?
it's just very witty towards Paul. It's hilarious.
Everybody loves the lies because she just gets absolutely ripped into me. Absolutely ripped into me. She hated the massage talk the other day. She was absolutely
Well, what
disgusted.
didn't matter was Paul saying, "Oh, you get a happy ending," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" She's 11, didn't have a clue what he's on about.
That's just because you're happy because it's finished. Aye, well done.
Aye.
Yes. That was excellent. Aye.
It's when you pay at the end. Do you know how you charge up front? Well, a happy ending is where if you're happy with your massage, you pay at the end. If you're no happy, you don't pay. So I'm no getting happy endings because I want paid up front.
Oh god.
But it's genuinely quite funny. Aye, so that's nice. So all your family follow you. All your family follow you. Fraser,
No,
does
all
your
my
family
family
follow
don't.
you?
No, nobody.
Any videos that I post on TikTok, but I put up on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, do you?
Aye.
What's your following like on Instagram?
And I don't have a big following. I only have 390 odd followers on
Well, it's more
Instagram.
than me. I can't work Insta.
I've just started. I think I'm about 570 now.
Paul's punting himself everywhere.
But do you know about 2 weeks ago actually, when I started doing the whole let's get my Insta up, I was about 249 people and I'm now 570 in a couple of weeks. I thought that was quite good. So I'm hoping to get to 10,000 so that I can be like one of the influencers. You can send me stuff and I'll
And what would you influence?
anything they want if it's free. Just to put that out there, I'm available to influence any of your products. I don't even care what they are. I'll influence them. Is that how you say it?
You're going to get some weird requests.
But is that how you say it? Like,
Including your underwear.
yeah,
Especially your underwear.
yeah, lady. I'm not going to lie. I can't say this in a podcast. My mum might hear me. But aye,
Okay. I think you're 3 podcasts too late for that worry.
I really enjoy wearing women's clothes, but not in like a.
Ross's face was an absolute picture there.
But I don't, not like in a pure, I just go home to get dressed up. I mean, like, see when I'm doing a video and I put them on, I quite enjoy that.
You're comfortable.
I don't think I would wear it round the house, but any excuse to make a video to be in women's clothes, I think is
Well, we've seen you wearing loads of Caitlin's clothes. You've wore her pants,
Yep.
her tops, her dresses, her headbands, her everything, bras.
when I put that video on. I remember, see the whole, when you're the one I do, my name is Jeff and that's not my name, and,
Yeah.
and I'm changing them, and I've got the bra around my head and stuff, and
The top with the big fluffy shoulders.
I put that on and it didn't go very well, because I think it's maybe because I wrote it, because I was wearing the pants on my head, obviously with the crotch hanging down the middle of your face, right? So because I had done that, and then the tagline I had put on it in the first video I posted was, "When your sister's at work." So I don't think anybody really liked the fact that
They thought it was your sister's stuff. Paul always likes to go close to the bone. Jeez, oh.
But I genuinely thought that would get the laughs. Didn't do very well.
No.
I was absolutely raging. It took me about 40 minutes to make. All these right, I'm not going to lie, right? I don't know what it's like for you. Do you put any effort into your TikToks, or do you just kind of put the
Oh no, I don't put the first one up. Oh no, out of here. But even at that, I still make mistakes. I broke sunglasses and everything.
Aye, but see that one I've done with my sale TikToks, right? I've done ones where I've videoed myself inside the house, Then I videoed myself outside the house in different clothes. And then I've done ones where I've took my clothes off, changed clothes, and it's took me maybe an hour, and maybe one took me 4 hours to do one TikTok, and I was constantly changing camera angles and doing everything else, and it gets 4 likes. Then I put a video on and just saying something stupid, and it gets 400 likes. And you're like, where's the point in putting any effort into this? Like, just put the video on and just say stupid stuff. So that's what I do now. Or I take my I'm going to take my clothes off.
Aye.
That works.
He just takes his clothes right off now. I've pimped him out as such.
I put one on the day, and it was Real Men Cry 2, right? So it's, I'm trying to start this whole thing to promote men's mental health and stuff, and I'm like, obviously the stigma around men opening up or crying or whatever else. So I put a video on the day about that, and it was quite good actually. So it was just basically all my best bits, and the song behind it is Linkin Park in the end, because in the end it doesn't really matter, and it's quite a sad song. But it's not really hitting the heights I thought it would, to be fair. And that's sad to think that actually I put a video on half an hour before it and it's 2,500 likes, and it's just me dancing in my Celtic tops, and then I put on something a wee bit more
Awareness.
a bit of awareness and try to raise awareness, and it's sitting at 978 likes, which I think is pretty sad, but what can you do?
Did you tag all the kind of mental health things at the bottom? I'm wondering if
hashtag
maybe...
real men cry. But then I'm thinking, because I've put loads together, you know how sometimes when you get into your camera roll and put something from your camera roll onto TikTok rather than making it actually inside TikTok, it doesn't do as well. So it's something to do with the algorithm. I'm hoping that's what it is, and I'll repost it again in a couple of days and it'll have the TikTok badge on it, so it'll maybe do a wee bit better.
I'm not sure that's right. I film my papa on Snapchat, and then it saves to my camera roll, and then I take it over to TikTok.
So that's just me talking rubbish then. It's just nobody's watching my videos, that's all it
Your
is.
content shite.
Thanks, you bunch of bastards.
No, but that's how I normally video my papa, just on Snapchat. But I was doing that well before, like I've been doing that for about a year before all this. So during lockdown I had so many videos of him that I was like, oh, I could maybe use this. People might laugh. Actually, I thought I was going to get a ban. So the first ever video I put up was him, me saying, what are you? And him saying, I'm a prick.
Oh, that was brilliant.
And I said, no, really, what are you? And he says, I'm a wanker. Here we go then. And I thought I was going to get a ban for that. I didn't really know much about TikTok then, and then it just took off for there.
So how are you feeling about your third? This is the third podcast. That's mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not nervous anymore. When we first came in here the very first time, I was quite nervous, and it was a bit like my first live. I was really nervous. I used to play with a bauble in my hands all the time. Like when I was on live, I was like, fiddling about with a bauble in my hands to try and like take away the nerves. Now it doesn't feel. I mean, how do you feel coming in here tonight, and do you feel alright?
I feel fine.
You weren't nervous or anything?
No.
I think Paul, you were really nervous.
I still get nervous, like today, like, because especially today, like, see, yesterday I came in with a wee bit of self-awareness. I'm like, oh, sorry, because I've prepared and I've got some stuff written down, and because this is all right. My problem is I'm funny the first couple of times you meet me, because you've not heard heard that shit before, right? So, but you ask anybody that's in my life, I just say the same shit all the time. Like it's just a different audience.
I can second that. Every Saturday for 6 weeks, I've heard the same jokes.
I'll bump into. We'll go out with new people, and Caitlin will be sitting next to me, and I'll say something, and everybody will be laughing, and she'll be going, "It's only about the fucking 400th time I've heard that joke." By the way, got to say something new.
Are you in a relationship, Rosie?
No, single, happily single. I've got a penguin in the house, mind you.
Yes, let's hear this story.
No, it's a soft toy.
You really want to pump a hard one?
It's a large, soft toy penguin that I stole from somebody. So it was a raffle present. It's a raffle toy present, whatever, that somebody won at a Christmas night out, and they left it lying, and I decided to steal it. So it's ended up in my house. So that's been my company through lockdown. That's been my spooning partner. And
does it have a name?
Pingu. That's the best I can do for now.
Pingu.
Pingu. That's the best.
Did you have any pets or anything?
No.
No,
No.
just the penguin.
Aye, just a penguin.
You and the penguin.
me and the penguin.
So you on any dating sites or that?
I'm on Tinder, but
Is it no
I
one for you?
just. Why is it? I don't know why. Whether you swipe right or left to go
It's
there.
right for yes, left for no.
Left for no there.
Right, okay. Can I just, because obviously we're talking about Tinder, I found my perfect date, but not on Tinder obviously, it was somebody had wrote this and it was on Facebook, and I thought this would be really funny to read out, but somebody is after my own heart. So this is Kristen and she's 30, right, and she's 15 miles away from whoever put this on, and she's just a girl looking for that special someone to leave her vagina looking like a punched lasagna. A man who isn't afraid to crack an egg in her arse and fuck her so hard that it scrambles. A family focused gentleman who's willing to turn her mouth into a daycare centre with his baby gravy. And when I read that,
Baby gravy.
I can't look at Caitlin the same way. I want to go and meet her. That's the female version of me. No. No.
Are you in the porn? Do you like the PlayStation? Are you in the porn?
Do you like the PlayStation?
I love how you were staring at me there with hatred.
Like a PlayStation, or just to make this clear, I don't watch porn. Next subject, please.
Back onto the dating thing. So do you find it hard to find someone then? Like, is it harder out there, do you think, now? Because like I've been in a long-term relationship, Paul's been in one, so
I'm not really looking for anybody
no.
at the moment. No.
But do you get people that are still quite full on, or no?
No, really. When I was on Grindr, which is like the gay version of Tinder, then it's a bit full on in there.
Well, tell us about
Tell
that.
us.
That's just a case of I want to pump you, and I'm like, cheerio.
Do you get hundreds of Bobby pictures and all that on there?
Aye.
Oh, Paul, that's right up your
I
street.
like a Bobby picture. I'm not going to lie. I get flattered when somebody sends me a Bobby picture.
No, so I ended up just deleting that. I thought, oh no, cheery bye.
So they are, because they're always bigger. I just get jealous. Fuck you. You're big Wally. Get off my phone.
If you put your Snapchat,
in your bio.
in your bio on TikTok, you wake up to a mountain pictures.
Boobies.
Oh no, I'm not doing that. Morning glory.
What's the story?
I mean, a terrible link between Balamory and Morning Glory.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You're singing Balamori,
Aye.
and I'm singing What's the Story, Morning Glory, yeah.
Tell the Oasis band.
I was too busy thinking, what's the story in Balamory then?
It's a Bobby picture that I was sent.
It's a Sparkle Stunner.
Oh, Paul got somebody to pick his name, the Donner Stoner, didn't you?
I put it on TikTok. So what I'd done was I used to change my name every 30 days, right? So my first name was Dad and Abs because it was a joint account. My daughter decided she wanted to open up for me and we'd do daddy and daughter TikToks, and then it evolved into, do you know what, I like this, so I'm having fun, so I'll call it Shits and Giggles, but I couldn't fit it in. Shits and Giggle was I couldn't get the S in it, the Giggle. So, and then at the end of that I went, do you know what, I'll change it to something else, and I changed it, I put it out there and somebody picked Donner Stoner, and I thought that's brilliant, but I only get just to make myself sound superior. Not good. No. Just to get that wee added flash. I went, I'll put official in because that's quite makes you Donner Stoner official. Well, he must be. Well, he's the official one. I will follow him. No, he's not a kid on, man. He's the official Donner Stoner. I was talking to Doug Keith and she's like, Paul, I was looking for you. Couldn't you find Gentle? I was on a live and you've changed your name. Like, you can't change your name. I'm trying to tell everybody how good you are and your name's Shits and Giggles, and I can't find you. Can't type in Shits and Giggles, and I'm like, right, okay. She's like, so don't ever change your name again. And I thought, no, I'm stuck with Donner Stoner.
To be fair, I witnessed this live, and at this live, Paul was so overcome with seeing Doug Keith on it that his chat up line to her was, guess how much I pay for a haircut? and as one of the people in Paul's side of the live typing, I'm like, oh no, it's the worst chat up line we're going to hear here. £40 is the
40.
answer.
Well, it's including tip, obviously. It's including the tip.
Ross's face.
Right, so I go in and I get a fade, right? I get a fade, I'll get a beard trim, I'll get my nose waxed, I'll get my eyebrows waxed, I get a wee head massage and my hair washed, and
Oh, bugger that. My haircut ended up by £1 to £11. And he never got a tip. I walked it with my mask back on.
Actually, £11 for a haircut. Where are you going?
Turkish barbers.
You're getting
In
ripped
the
off.
corner for,
Wait,
in the corner for me.
who are you paying for a haircut?
Stockwell Street.
£8.
What?
I get £8 haircut, shave.
See, to be fair, it looks like
Nose.
an haircut. At least mine looks like a 40 quid one.
Cheek. That's a cheek.
I actually done a reaction to Paul. Remember, my papa reacted to Paul.
He's in the
40
car.
My papa was furious.
Quid? 40? No worth it.
My papa took an instant dislike to Paul from then on. Now he loves him, but it's been a gradual build-up of love because he couldn't go over the £40 haircut. I went live with my papa and said that to him, and he literally, for the whole live, he was like, 40, but he kept going back to it. He couldn't get over it.
No wonder, 40 quid.
Yeah, but it's including tip. That's just for the haircut. It's about 23 quid.
23 quid for a haircut.
Then you've got your beard trim, your beard trim, your eyebrow waxing, your nose waxing.
Ain't they cutting it with a gold clipper?
Apart from my eyebrows, I get everything that you get for 8 quid.
Yeah, but she's really good.
He gets a happy ending, that's why he's £40.
No, she's... Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Amy is a cracking... I don't call her a barber. She's a really good hairdresser. I'm going to call her a hairdresser. Although she's a barber, she's really, like, phenomenal. Like, I went to the Turkish barbers for ages and ages and ages, and I went in there one day, and she's like, your hair's a mess. And she could tell me what he was doing wrong, and he's like, in fact... You used to have a sweep in your hair, didn't you? Aye, well, he's sweeping it round the wrong way because the natural way your hair goes is to the other side. So, do you always get clumping here when you're fixing your hair? I'm like, aye. She's like, well, that's why. If you had to get your hair cut properly and get it swept the other way, you wouldn't have that clumping and it would look nicer. So I'm like, 40 quid to make me look handsome. So I'm not going to. I do not grudge paying that money.
I would. That's great. That's disgraceful.
But
That's disgraceful amount.
I only get it twice a month.
See, you twice a month?
Twice a month?
I've only had it once this month because I've not managed to.
£80 a month to get it
Do you
here?
know that you need to book in? Right, I can't get.
If you're not.
You need to book 2 weeks in advance. See if you don't book your haircut 2 weeks in advance, you don't get it cut because you can't get booked in. I can't get booked in. My hair's a riot. I've not had a haircut for 4 weeks nearly.
She has great advertising and a very clever business mind. That's what she's got.
She's amazing at cutting hair.
I think she's giving you a happy ending. You keep saying she's amazing.
She's like, cutting hair. She's absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. She's amazing at cutting hair. Like,
how do you know? Do you cut hair?
Getting a Dulux finish.
See, this is my thing. He's definitely been emulsified now.
I made him ask.
I went to KFC drive-through and I'm like, for my food, and I'm like, do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Did you?
No.
I would have.
He was on a live with me, and
I would have.
we were both sitting at the Showcase Cinema in our cars. Paul was like, oh, I need to go and get something to eat. So he went away to KFC, and I'm like, I'm still on the live, obviously, like at the other side of it as a dual live, and I'm like, go and say, Paul, do you know who I'm? And then he's like, do you know who I'm? And the guy's like, no.
Have you ever done a mental live? Have you ever done a mental live?
Why all the time?
No, but like the last live, I went on a dual live with Mel like ages ago, right? And I was going to Asda, I'm going to Asda, I need to go. No, stay on. Alright, okay.
You didn't go live in Asda, did you?
Live, I'm going round Asda, right? And they're like, Andy's coming. So I threw myself in the deck, right? And they're like, go and ask the person this, ask the person that. But the best one was they're like, pick up something embarrassing. So I'm like, right. So I went to the condom aisle and I'm like, Mel, they've got extra large, they've got normal, they've got no extra small. You can't get pumped tonight. And the wee lassie sat, but probably about 19, standing next to me, just looking at me, and I'm going, what are we going to do? There's no extra small condoms. What do I do? And I'm like, and what is it you were needing again? Was it the Vagisil or was it and it was some other one? It was like there was Vagisil and Caniston. I was like, is it Vagisil or Caniston that you need for that itch? And the aisle just emptied at that point, and I'm like, and then what was it? I'm up to buy some cooked chicken. How you get it up the back, right? And the wee guy working there's got, he was either emptying or filling the pizza bits next to it, and I'm like, oh aye. See, after I love getting my arse finger blasted. Wait till I've bought this chicken, and then I'll tell you what happened. And the boy just looked at me as if, what is he saying? But apparently it was one of the best lives that everybody had watched me on.
Do your lives go wild like that?
No, as wild. Not as wild as that.
Next time you're in Asda,
Next time you're in Asda, go on a live and just do what they tell you. Trust me, you'll not get embarrassed.
Why?
It's not embarrassing.
And that's exactly why Abby says you can't embarrass me. My dad's donor official.
I just don't know how to get a redneck.
Bless, I'm standing beside you.
No, that's emasculation. That's a total different thing altogether. You don't embarrass me. I'm not embarrassed by you.
Oh, well, good to know.
I'm emasculated by you. You're alright, you don't embarrass me.
Aye.
You can come out. You can hang about with me. It's alright. You can. I'll be seen in public with you.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
Well,
Thanks.
she can't do because you're in lockdown.
Oh, well, next week it was going to be Jandy though.
Yeah, that's fine.
You would have loved to be on that bed with Jandy.
Imagine it, big sexy Jandy. His blue eyes and his blonde hair. He just melts my heart.
That's his man crush.
He
Oh.
melts my heart, so he does. Sometimes I wish I liked Bobby because he's a sexy man.
Some deep thoughts happening over there, really, isn't there?
I just don't like it. It's like mayonnaise. Don't like mayonnaise. I like tomato sauce.
I hate tomato sauce. I've got a fear of tomato
That's
sauce.
not a very good. That's not a very
Feed
good.
it tomato sauce.
I've got a fear of tomato sauce.
Have you?
Why?
I've got a fear of it touching my skin. No, I don't like the taste of it.
Why
I
would
don't-
tomato sauce be touching your skin?
You know, like if it accidentally like even if it's no that, like see anything out of tin, I don't. The only thing I get out of tin is like tinned tomatoes, like chopped tomatoes.
I don't like that.
You do realise that if you have like a takeaway or you go somewhere, at some point you've eaten something out of tin, you just don't know.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet corn could be anything.
no. So you can buy frozen sweet corn.
Yeah, but
Well, the
they buy
takeaways
big
not
tin.
limit. The big
The big buy tins.
I'm not buying a takeaway with just sweet corn. What kind of takeaways do you buy with just sweet corn on it?
Can I have a sweet corn curry, please?
Yeah. I don't even
Yum,
like
yum.
sweet corn because it just. I don't know why people eat sweet corn.
No, because you just
It just
shit
comes.
out.
It comes out the exact same way it goes in. It's like it's no done anything. It's just went from there to there and done absolutely nothing at all because everything else gets changed into a different colour and it comes out a totally different way.
And
Sweet corn just
doesn't
it's just comes it goes in like a corn and it comes out like a corn.
It's really weird. You get sweet corn at that end and carrots at the other end.
I've never.
None
been-
of this bothers me as a nurse. I can handle any of that.
I don't.
Were you a nurse?
I said I worked in water and you just kind of brush that off.
What-
But she says she's a nurse and it's ooh.
Because she's a key worker and you're looking at a tap.
I was a key worker. You're lucky
I know,
your water was
right,
coming
double.
through your taps. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the hospitals if there was no water? She couldn't nurse if we didn't get the water into her building. You would die. I'm saving lives here. The water's coming through your taps because of people like me. I was a key worker. That's why I didn't get furloughed. That's me. Right, I'm not talking to you. That's it. You cannot talk to yourselves, man.
I've never had an argument about water before.
I know, when Paul first told us that he was a water manager, remember we were all whipping it out you saying that the only thing you managed was water down the barras, 2 for £1.
Remember the sports socks? 2 for £1. Well, you might be too young to remember that though.
And he miss his money.
I'm only 5 years younger than you.
I know, but I used to go down Coatbridge Main Street and the boy would be standing there with his wee, and all he would sell was socks.
Aye.
And you'd just be wondering, why wouldn't you go to the shop for your
Diadora
socks?
socks.
What?
Remember the
Why-
bra was that Diadora make?
Why are you buying the 2 stripes? It's just 2 stripes at the top of them, and you're just like sports socks 2 for £1, and you'd be like, why would you go to a guy in a suitcase in the middle of the street for your socks? I've just never understood that.
Do you remember
life.
Are you old enough to remember the ginger man?
Yeah, the ginger man, and we had the rag and bone man as well.
Aye.
And you would take out all your old clothes, and they would give you like a whistle and a lollipop.
The good old times.
The
There
rag-
was
I'm
no
too young.
phones.
Or you'd
television.
have somebody walking up your street shouting "Candy Apple!"
I remember him.
Candy Apple man. as
3
well.
years
all
ago,
that.
my gran and my mum and all that, they told all of us, because like I've got hundreds of cousins, right? So we all have a day that we used to go to my gran and papa's. This is mother gran and papa, no my papa on TikTok. We used to go there so me and my brother and that, we would go every Friday, but then like my other cousins would go on a Sunday, and we'd all have a day. The Icy would come along, and play its wee tune, and we would always look out at it and be like, can we get that? But my gran used to tell us that it was a tatty van, so only sell tatties. So like, see, for years we just believed that, like we would hear that and they were like, oh, that's just to tell you that they've got tatties, right? We never ever thought anything of that. And then I went to my pals and her dad had bought an Icy, right? And she's like, oh, do you want to come in the van and get sweets? And I'm like, but I only sells tatties. Like, I think I was about like 12. I was so naive. She's like, what? Sweet? It sells sweets? And I'm like, does it? We were just totally...
Aye. My mum used to say that when it was ringing its bells, it meant it didn't have anything. It was empty.
Run out.
Aye, it's run out when it's ringing the bells. It's like a type.
But that's better than at least you knew it was
Tatty
sweets.
van.
At least you knew it was sweets. We thought it was potatoes I had.
Every time we used to go, can we get an ice cream? My mum would go, there's one in the freezer. I was like, oh god.
It was always the ones that had to be. It was one of these screwballs that had the wee ball at the bottom, wasn't it? It was always them. I loved them out of farm food.
They weren't even real ice cream. It was like a frozen mousse. Remember, you had to wait on them. Remember, you defrost. Yes. Can I get a mousse? And they put them out the freezer. And you couldn't eat it then. You didn't come back half an hour when it was defrosted. What a pain in the arse that was. Half an hour. No, I want mine now.
You got a bit of chewy candy that was going to snap your teeth in half.
Oh, aye.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I loved it, man. I just loved being wee. It was great fun.
Nothing's really changed for you.
You're still wee. In many ways.
That's it. I'm coming back on.
See, when I moved up here, it was like we got a van here, but I never got a van in my last house. And like Carol's like, what's that? I said, that's the van? We can get stuff. And I remember the first time coming back, we had like the biggest plastic cup full of the slushy and like 4 ice creams. It was like, I feel like I'm winning. It's great.
Well, I don't get a van at my bit.
Do you? Loads of people don't get a van anymore.
No, you don't.
I don't get a van, but then that's because I stay in the student.
It's because they're no cost
You
effective.
get everything at your doorstep.
We get a chippy van on a Sunday.
Oh, do you?
That's pretty good. Well, it
Oh, I
wasn't.
love a chippy.
When I stayed in Northern Ireland, you get a chippy van on a Friday. That was it, or a Saturday, depending on where you stayed.
So what was your favourite thing about being wee? So we'll go around the room. Who will we start with?
You.
My favourite thing in the whole world about being wee was a programme called Alf, and it was about a wee furry alien dude, and he lived with a family, and it was the best programme I have ever watched. I still remember it, and one of these days I'm going to try and find it.
Did he not come down for space into the girl's school bag or something, and then she took him home or something like that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'd need to remember. All I remember, and as vividly as this wee alien thing, that and Wurzel Gummidge.
It was like Gizmo. Remember that alien? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was. I'll show you. Hold on. I'll you just keep talking. I'll find them.
I mean, is it TV programmes we're talking about? My favourite was Budgie the Helicopter.
Oh, Budgie little helicopter, doo.
I missed that. I never saw that.
Budgie? Do you know what Budgie is?
No.
I don't know what Budgie is either.
Oh, Budgie was brilliant. There's Alf there, look.
Aye.
That's Alf.
No, I don't know that.
I don't know.
Scary looking.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
But to be fair, my ma would stop us watching a lot of stuff. Like, we weren't allowed to. This is going to sound terrible, sorry, Mum. We weren't allowed to watch, like, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Not allowed to watch that.
Yeah,
There was Green Chill. We weren't allowed to watch that. We weren't allowed to watch loads of stuff.
Remember Keenan and Kel?
You do realise that Budgie the little helicopter was like a.
That was a
It's
cartoon.
like a 5-year-old's programme. It's not. It wasn't
I
like.
have no idea.
Oh,
My ma's
Keenan
a
and
bit-
Kel. Who loves on soda? Kel loves on soda. Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do.
That was very good,
I feel
actually.
so sorry for Ross next to you.
I loved Keenan and Kel. You had sister as well. Remember the twins that were on Nickelodeon as well back in the day?
Oh, no, I don't think I remember that. I think I just lied.
What was your favourite thing?
Mr. Blobby.
Mr.
Oh, Mr.
Blobby.
Blobby.
Oh, man. Noel's house party. I remember I always used to go. Remember, you used to have the wee kid on it, and they would bring on one wee kid, and the parents got to win them all these, and you used to just want to be that wee guy.
No, I used to want to do that in Funhouse. Remember Funhouse?
Funhouse, I was going to say Funhouse. Oh, I always wanted a shot in the go-karts.
I know the theme tune to that as well.
Go.
Fun house, it's a whole lot of fun. Prizes to be won. It's a real wacky show where anything can go.
Hold on. Do it again.
Fun house, it's a whole lot of fun. Prizes to be won. It's a real wacky show where anything can go.
On yourself. That's your audition. We've already recorded it.
No, I loved it.
Funhouse, I loved that that show.
Oh, what was it? I really like the original Crystal Maze as well.
Yeah,
can't
he was
remember his name.
mental. What was his name again? You never seen it, no? You're quite young though. What
Crystal
age are
Maze?
you?
29.
Yeah, he's too young.
What was his
Too young to remember it though. That was early to mid 90s, and then it kind of phased out towards the late 90s.
See, that was when telly was good back in the day. I remember on a Saturday, your telly was lined out. It was like Gladiators.
Generation game.
It was Gladiators.
I
Then
like
it was like
Gladiators.
Blind Date, and Baywatch was on before that, and then
Baywatch.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you would get like
But
Baywatch,
I
then
remember Baywatch and
Gladiators.
Blind Date. I remember all these.
It was great.
Remember Jim Davidson hosted the pool, the snooker, pot black or something. Oh,
I can't remember, but aye.
Aye.
that was brilliant. And John Virgo done the trick shots.
Aye.
Ah,
The worst thing about the weekend for me was it's embedded in my brain now with the song of Heartbeat, the programme Heartbeat.
I hated Heartbeat. You know
That was
why?
it.
Because you get sent to bed after
Yep.
Heartbeat. So you began.
Aye.
It was your bath with Vocine. You get sat down in front of the fire. You
Aye.
dry your.
Vocine.
Do you know what I still use?
You can still
I've got
buy
Vocine.
that.
I've got Vocine. That's what I use. I still use it. See, because it's like It's like when you're wee. And you
That's
get,
me for my Sunday night shower.
it's like when you're wee.
I
and you
used to
get,
love the smell of Vocine.
oh, it's amazing. I still use it. I guarantee. That's what I washed my hair with before I came out today. Was Vocine. I'm not going to lie, because it's ingrained
That's
into
you
my
ruined your
life.
£40 haircut.
You're going to go for a haircut, you'll be like, excuse me, have you been using Vocine?
Aye. Bed after heartbeat. That's how I hated it.
Aye, I absolutely hated it.
You knew that tune would come on and that was it. Bed. Bastard. Sunday nights. I hated Sunday nights.
Remember
Yeah.
before Heartbeat was no London's Burning?
London's Burning was London's Burning was on after Heartbeat. I never got to see London's Burning until I was a bigger boy because I was set in my bed.
I'm a bigger boy now.
I'm a big boy, man.
No, you're no. Shut up and get a fucking bed.
That was the kind of conversation that I had with my dad the first time I thought I was being wise and being like big and thinking I'm gonna fight back with you. You're an arsehole. He's like, my arse has never stopped stinging after it since.
The best one was we were my wee sister, and I drew her the wall, right? So I'd drawn all over the wall. I think it was me. Was it me? This is a long time ago, so I can't remember if it was me and my wee sister, right? So we'll say it was one of us. One of us had drawn all over the wall, right? My stepdad, obviously, being the kind of smarter guy that he is, instead of coming up and saying, "Who the fuck is drawing the wall?" He went, "Oh, who's drawn that lovely picture? That's a lovely. Who's?" And shouting to my mum, "Want to see this lovely picture that one of the kids has drawn?" And I right away, me, rattle. And you get your arse leather after that. But that was just the funny being in my house when you were wee. Who drew that? That's a good way of doing it, but who drew that lovely picture? And then one other, and I always wonder why I'm really skinny, right, and my sister's not so skinny, and right.
Building bridges.
Right, and we put it down to this, and my mum says she came down the stair one night. She was quite hungover, and I've got my wee sister. I thought I'll get my wee sister out of bed, take her down, I'll get her breakfast. But at the time I had a chip pan, an actual full-on chip pan that sat on the hob, and there's me with the fucking ladle with the chip fat, ramming it down her throat, and she's sitting there loving life, and and I'm like, so I'm to blame for my sister's the fact that she's no the skinniest.
I feel sorry. Imagine being your wee sister, like, or a wee brother to you. It would just have been a nightmare growing up with Paul as a big brother. Like,
No, she was a bastard. I remember what. No, I'm not going to lie. She used to get me into lots of trouble. Like, I'd be lying in my bed doing nothing, and we'd be arguing, right? And I'd go into my room and she'd just shout, "Ah!" and start greeting. And my mum would, or my stepdad would come running up the stair and absolutely leather me.
Yeah.
And I never done anything.
I used to do it to my big brothers. My big brother made a Lego ship. Fucking really annoyed me one day, and I just rattled it down the stairs.
Honestly, I was absolutely bailing. I was just like, nah, I'm not having this.
have you got brothers and sisters, Ross?
I have got 2 wee brothers and 3 wee sisters.
Oh, really? So you're the oldest? Are they a lot younger than you?
My wee brother Scott, he's 3 years younger than me, and then after that they're all years younger until you get to Gillian, and then she's the youngest.
Oh, really?
Aye.
And how did you get on with them when you were wee?
Well, I've been fostered all my life.
Oh, really?
Aye. Well, most of my life. I was in and out of foster care to start with, back and forward, and then when I was in primary 2, I went in permanently. Mm-hmm. And I've stayed with different foster carers, back and forward.
Wow.
So I don't really see my brothers or sisters.
Alright.
But they're the same situation as me as well. They've been fostered all their life as well. In fact, 2 of my wee sisters actually got adopted.
Oh, did they?
Wow.
Together, they got adopted together.
There we go. See, there's something we didn't know about you.
Aye, a life
Yeah.
story. That's what you call. That's what we like to hear. I know we don't like to hear it, but that's what defines you as a person. It's
That's
your
it, because
background.
like we always say this, like TikTok, somebody's only seeing you for about 15 seconds or 60 seconds of your time, and they don't know your backstory. Like, you know, we've kind of said stuff that's happened to us in the past, and it's good to know that everybody's got a different, you know, they've all had a different experience in life.
We've all got a story.
Because it makes you who you are, really, doesn't it? All the experiences.
Paul's
Things that you
sister
go through.
stories, just Paul
No.
I know.
just feeding her fat out the chip pan.
No, it's a wee bit more delicate than that. We've obviously me and my sister had our issues when we were wee as well, but I'll not delve into them today. We'll do that over the series. But listen, I've had a hard life. I've not had the easiest of lives. I've had social workers and stuff like that. So we've all had our stories.
Yeah.
We've all got our problems, and as we go along, we'll no doubt mine will unravel because I like to talk. So I'll have nothing else to talk about. I'll need to talk about the serious stuff or the bad stuff. And this is the video I put on the day. It was a smile can hide. It's how scary what a smile can hide.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole thing about TikTok, is that I've had a really hard life. There's different things that's happened to me throughout my life that's been so hard, and my way to deal with it is to try and be funny. The class clown. I was a class clown in school because outside of school I had a hard life. So in school, my way of dealing with that was to act out and want pals and want everybody to like me, and that's never went away from me. Like I'm still that wee boy that genuinely just wants to make everybody happy, and everybody needs to like Paul, and that's probably my weakness, is that I need everybody to like me.
That's obviously the way that you get around things, though, because you use comedy and humour. So I use music in that sense. So anything that's ever happened to me where I've had it tough, you know, like I've spoke about, and I probably will go into it as well, like you, like domestic violence, and my mental health plummeted in that, and you know, various things. I was bullied at school, but music's always been my get out to that. Mm-hmm. So like music to me is one of the biggest things that I think if I was to lose music, it would be so difficult. Like especially like, you know, when people say, oh, would you rather no see or hear? Well, for hearing for me then would mean I would lose music, and that's a get out for me. So I would hate to lose that sense.
Anybody else? No, but it's like everybody. What did they say? The biggest comedians are holding the darkest of past, because with Robin Williams, you could look at Robin Williams. He ended up killing himself, and he was really unhappy. But nobody ever saw that side of him, because he felt he had to be
smiling,
the life of the party, and that's probably what TikTok's full of, and that's maybe why you see the dark side to him sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that maybe why you see the dark side coming out? Why you see the people arguing, is because it's just full of personalities that want to get themselves out there, want to be funny, want to make people happy, but are maybe carrying the biggest loads, and sometimes it spills out through their videos.
Yeah.
I think though, if the people out there, the ones that are like shouting and bawling about it, probably they don't have the situation where they're not really, like, I can smile and be hiding so many worries going on, but I think the ones who are on TikTok shouting and bawling probably don't have to hide the worries, because they've shouted and bawled about it, so they're not having to do a fake smile. Do you know what I mean? They're just like, well, I've aired all my business. And that can be pretty tough and all.
It's hard. There's a picture called The Laughing Clown. It's just not laughing at all. It's just a totally pure miserable looking face, but it's just the happy clown, and that's what it is. A lot of people kind of go down that route to cope. It's a coping mechanism. It's like, well, if I make fun of myself first, or if I do this to myself first, then he can or she can.
Well, you just need to look at my life. I'm nearly 40. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm staying with my girlfriend's parents. I'm living at home with my girlfriend's parents and her two wee sisters. That is where I am in life at 37 years of age. At 37 years of age, I should be looking forward to the next 10 years of possibly paying off my mortgage, settling down and loving life. And I feel as if I'm a teenager again. I'm back to my teenage years, like living at home with the parents, and that's what it feels like for me.
But that's what the world has told you. That's what you're supposed to do. Is you're supposed to have a house, you're supposed to have a mortgage, you're supposed to have a fucking driveway, 3 cars, 2 lanes. Genuine question: what time is you've been most happiest?
Oh, there's probably when I was in the army, to be fair. Like, I shouldn't be saying, no, when I'm with Caitlin and right now, it's never, my kids when I get my my kids, Caitlin, the army, I don't know, no.
Right, no, I don't mean like obviously you love your...
That's right. Paul now homeless.
No. I'll correct this. Right? So we're not asking about it like that, but like for you being you.
Me being me.
Obviously you love your kids, you love your girlfriend. I mean, it's...
Me and my element was probably in my late teens, early 20s. That was the best time in my life. If you're going to sitting right now, if I was to look back on my life and reminisce about the most, that is the period of time that I would always. That's when the most stories were made. 17 and 23, 24. That's when I made. That's when if you all my stories over the next wee while, you'll probably see me refer back to that period in time, because that's where I made the most memories.
That was your happiest time.
Yeah, and yet it was the time I was in the army as well. So it's mental. It's like same time. Yeah, brilliant.
My happiest time would be my childhood. Like, probably before my dad. My dad left my mum when I was 12, so probably before then was my happiest times. Because I have a lot of memories, really good memories. And in my adult life, I've had quite tough times, especially whether it's been friendships that have turned out to not be friendships, or relationships that have turned out to be, I had an ex who was alcohol dependent, I had one who was abusive. It seems to be my adult life has been pretty hard in that sense. So I would probably say my childhood had the most memories for me, and the most amazing memories, because I absolutely loved going back to that. But if I was to go back to that now, it probably wouldn't be the same.
What's yours, Ross? I'm sorry.
I would say late years of high school, when I used to do like school shows and stuff like that. I just loved performing, and you don't need to pay for nothing when you're at school, so it's great.
Yeah.
And then in my adult life would have been 6 years ago when I done the opening and closing ceremony the Commonwealth Games.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
It was just absolutely amazing, didn't it? Best chance in my life. And then the year after that, when I was performing on stage, we take that at the Hydro.
What?
Oh, great.
Aye.
Wait, stop. Rewind.
For 5 nights with 80 volunteers.
That's brilliant.
Aye.
That's tremendous.
That's actually fantastic.
What did you do with them?
We were just backing dancers for them.
Amazing.
Aye. They wanted 80 volunteers, and I don't know 5 nights at the Hydro.
That is fantastic. Did you do the opening ceremony? Or I think it was the ending one, the one that had Rod Stewart and Amy McDonald.
I was a athlete marshal, so I was in a big bright red suit. That's why I've got my red suit.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, now I remember. That's pretty cool. That's amazing, by the way.
That's a good story to be able to tell people.
And then I done the closing ceremony as well.
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh, it was just amazing.
That's
I just
good
seen.
memories.
In fact, the reason how I found out about it, I was watching the news, and then I just applied online. I went for the audition, and got the call, got the email saying I got in.
Wow.
That's tremendous.
And is that what would you see, your future, for career-wise? Do you think you would want to do something in performing arts?
Aye. Definitely. Aye. Well, I do, as I say, I do amateur dramatics. I go to Johnson Phoenix Theatre Groups. I do pantos at Christmas time.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
That's poor.
And we do a spring show as well. So,
Really? Oh, good.
and that's how I know Leanne.
Oh, that's how you know Leanne? Because Leanne does the panto, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Leanne does the panto.
See, when you're saying that, right, and because we're touching on serious subjects, what would people say that let's go with the most challenging time in their life?
The most challenging time for me was being in domestic violence and not speaking out to my family about it. I found that really tough because I was afraid to look weak, and I wasn't afraid. I was embarrassed to look weak, and I was embarrassed that my family would think that I could let myself get into that situation. So that was a challenging time for me because I actually felt like I was supposed to get married to my ex, who was really bad with domestic violence, and had he not have finished things, I would have married him and I would have probably ended my life. And I've openly spoke about this since to my family and my mum and things, but at the time I couldn't, because he used to hold that as but remember, your family know we're going to get married. And so that was really challenging for me in that sense, because I felt as if I couldn't escape that. And because I couldn't escape that, and because I've always been quite, not headstrong, but I've always had a kind of plan. And I lost my sense of identity in that relationship because I was scared to be myself. I was scared to, speak to someone. Was I speaking to them too long? Was I speaking to them too little? Was I saying the right thing, the wrong thing? Walking on eggshells, basically. Did I make the correct dinner? No, make the correct dinner. So that, for me, I lost just being me in that, and that was a challenge because I felt like I had to then get that back once that ended. And to be fair, I have got that back now, and I'm back to me, but I just never thought I'd been a person that, when you hear about stories about people in these situations with domestic violence, and my mental health plummeted quite bad in it, where I've never had any mental health problems, but I can totally understand how in that situation your mental health does plummet. I used to lie in my bed at night and wish I could just get in my car and drive into a wall, and I hated me, I hated my life, and that was a big challenge. It's hard to overcome hating every aspect of your life because somebody's put you that far down. But once you're that far down and you bring yourself back up, you realise that nobody will ever get me to that point ever again in my life. Ever. So that was my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
No,
okay.
it's the whole point of the podcast is to make sure people don't feel alone. I mean,
Yep.
like one of mine. I mean, I've had a few, but really, my last kind of proper breakdown where I was an alcoholic, I was taking drugs, all sorts. You name it, I was doing it. Working in the pubs, drink driving, all everything. You name it. I was being a really horrible person to everybody, like vile. Is one of the reasons I'll never get you'll see me tipsy, but you'll never see me drunk because I just get too far. It's too much. I can't control myself. But when I went through the last one, I mean, I lost 2 houses within a year. My company of it made a fair amount of money. I was doing good. We had nice stuff. I mean, the cars I've still got the cars. Okay, they're not as nice anymore.
Yeah.
They're kind of falling apart. They look a bit like how my brain feels now. They're not as shiny as they used to be, but they're still there, and I'm still here, and it's trying to put across that stuff doesn't make you happy. That's what I was chasing. I think that's what I'm trying to say is I was chasing the nice life, the nice cars, the nice this, the nice that. Let's have this, let's have that. And then between me and Carol's health, just completely deteriorated. I mean, the house is an absolute riot. It needs a whole paint. I've got all the stuff. I just can't physically do it anymore. But I don't care. I'm not trying to show off anymore where I used to. Where I used to go, look at me in my Mercedes, look at me in my big Jeep. Oh, that cost me 80 grand. You know, I couldn't care less. You could, if you wanted to, I'll just give you my car. I really don't. Stuff doesn't make me happy, and that's not important to me.
Yeah.
And the one fear about kind of watching a lot of the people on TikTok is they seem to be trying to go, right, I want to try and do this so I can make money. I'm going to do the Creators Fund, right? Follow my Instagram, follow this, do this. And I'm thinking, please do this for the right reasons. Don't, because a lot of people are not going to get to that level of being famous.
Yeah.
And I'm scared for how they're going to be able to cope with it, with suddenly the rejection. Because entertainment, when you know yourself, Ross,
Yeah.
some of you go for some interviews or some auditions, and you're told you're crap, fuck off, don't come back. And some people just can't cope with that. I mean, I can because I'm crap. I'm shite, but I know I'm
amazing, and I'll not listen to the people.
Here we go.
But that's the right attitude. It's well, okay, you don't like me, move on. It's simple. Don't try and hold grudges. Don't try and be somebody else. Don't try and show off and go like, I've got this and I've got that. I'm amazing.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
No, definitely not.
What about you, Ross?
Well, I've got a few.
I'm the same as you.
So here we go. Start from the beginning. Very good place to start. So, as I said, I was fostered most of my life. So, I went into foster care permanently for when I was about 6, and that was actually thanks to me. It took a lot of guts to do that at that age. So I remember it well. So one day after school, I remember the route going home. So after school, used to go down the steps, hit the lollipop man stick as I done. But this one day, I hit the lollipop man stick, crossed the road, and then went back across the road. And the lollipop guy says, "Where you going?" I says, "Back into school." So I went back into school, and the teacher was still in the class, thankfully. And I went into class, and the teacher obviously says, "Why was I still in?" And I says, "Because I don't want to go home." And she says, "Why do you not want to go home?" And I says, "Because my mum and her boyfriends are hitting me and my wee brothers and sisters." And she says, "Right, okay, well, I need to take you to the head teacher." So she took me to the head teacher, and I had to tell the same thing at the head teacher that I told the teacher. So I told the head teacher the exact same thing. So I had to then phone my mum. So I phoned my mum, and I had to say the exact same thing as I told the teachers to my mum. Mum was at "Please come home," and I told my mum no. So that night, the teachers had to phone my auntie. I had to go and stay with my auntie. Then the next day, my auntie took me to school, and then a social worker came and took me into care, and that was me in care permanently. So that was really challenging for me. But most recently, my biggest challenge was 3 really close people dying. Was my Uncle Rab passed away in October, 3 years past in October. Then my Auntie Dot passed away in March two years ago, so right after him. But then the biggest challenge was my foster carer passed away 2 months after that in May, who I lived with for 11 years. So that was my life totally flipped upside down, and that's how I had to end up getting my flat and becoming totally independent within the blink of an eye. And it was the biggest challenge. I had never had a flat of my own, and I had to learn how to literally run a flat and everything, and basically the space of a blink of an eye, basically.
And you've done it.
Wow.
And you've done it.
Yeah.
That's took quite a lot of courage, especially just 6 as well. If we go back to that, that's took a lot for that must have took a lot for you at that age to do something like that. So yeah.
It's amazing how certain situations bring out the most incredible side of human beings.
When you hear that story, there's no excuse for that. I don't care what anybody says. See the criminality route, the drug route. I know everybody's got their own issues, right? But it's purely down to your mindset. Because if you can have that type of life and have that many ups and downs at that such a young age and still end up a decent human being and you're not a bad person, then I always say that everybody needs to look at that. You can't use your past as an excuse for your actions. Same way as I guarantee you, your ex will probably turn around and say that he watched his mum getting battered. So he's probably he's using that as an excuse then to be that person. And you can't, and nobody can use their past as an excuse for what they do in their life, because you've got two choices: you can sink or swim, and that's just the way it is. Like as I said, I don't even want to follow that now because I don't feel as if my problems are or my challenges or anything like that. But as I said, I'll look at one of them. We'll look at them again because I'm here every week. We'll look at.
Sadly.
I'll touch on my problems individually, but what we will say is, looking back at now at my age and what I've been through, I lost my dad when I was 3. He moved out, kind of bit part of my life for a couple of years and then disappeared. My dad at the time would have said, "That's your mum. That wasn't out to see you." My mum will say, "Your dad wasn't interested." So that was the kind of relationship that they had. Then I become pretty tough to handle at the age of 13, 14, but again that was due to events in my childhood that would have made me act out. But anyway, my dad came back into my life when I was about 13, 14, and it was wonderful. We had a great few years together. Then I joined the army at about 16 and a half. And then when I was in the army, I seen him very rarely. And then just as I turned 18, in fact, I think I'd only just turned 18 or was coming up for 18. It was 2001. And I can't, that's so bad, I can't even remember the month it was. But anyway, I got a phone call from my mum saying that my dad was in the hospital and that he was diagnosed with skin cancer. So I'd only known him for maybe 5 years or something. 4 years at the most. 4 years, probably 4.5 years he'd been back in my life. And it was great, it was good. And he got diagnosed with skin cancer and he got given 6 months to live. He had died. I'd left on the Friday morning to come up on the train and he'd died before I got home to see him. So that was heartbreaking stuff, especially considering he'd not been in my life that long. So, and that the only reason I think about that is because I'm now 37 and he died when I was 18. So I've now lived longer without my dad than I did have him. Even if he was in my life the whole life, I've now lived without my dad longer than what it was my dad for. Do you know what I mean? So that's and I look at people and their dads and relationships I've got and I just go, wow, that's good, because I know I had my stepdad died a year later, so even though I had my stepdad in my life, that was a rocky relationship that we had, because I always knew him as my stepdad. I never called him dad, he was always John. So as I said, I didn't have that proper dad son relationship that and obviously you'll know my story with my boy, and we're in that same scenario. We're in the same scenario where my wee boy's, I'm estranged for him, so I'm going through the same challenges with my wee boy, and I fight myself every day because I wanted my dad in my life and I want to be in my son's life, but at the same time there's just so many problems there that he fights against it, and I'll be like, and I'm stubborn and I'm like, well, do you know what, I'm not coming to see you then, and we have that relationship. So I hope my wee boy gets better, I hope he turns his life around, but if he's not going to, then I'll freely admit that I can't be in his life because he's so hard to handle. So anyway, that's some of my problems. But yeah, I've got loads of them, so we are genuinely going to have loads and loads to talk about if we're going to go the series route. That's for sure.
And see the way you said, just going back a wee tiny bit when you went, it's how you decide. You know, you don't let your past decide your future. And I never answered it, but my happiest time is right here, right now, on this second, because all the stuff I've been through it. I got through it. I'm still here. Okay, my problems are not the worst problems, but for me, everybody has to take their own life and deal with their own life. You know, you can't. It's not like,
it's all subjective. You can't.
Yeah, it's not a competition. You just deal with what you deal with, and this is generally my happiest moment right now. Because it might get through to somebody, and we might just save a life.
Some like for talking sake, if somebody loses a family member, right, and somebody loses a dog, the person who loses a family member will probably look at it and go, "Come on, it's just a dog. I've lost." But it's subjective because that dog is a family member to that person. So you can, and you know what? I'm guilty of doing the same thing, but I'll do it inside my head because I say I've got the emotional capacity of a brick. I'm not going to lie. I don't have my emotions are always there or thereabouts, and sometimes they go here, and I do cry. I'm not going to lie, I do cry, but at the same time, I don't have the emotional capacity to project the same amount of sympathy as a normal person, and that's just because of the life I've had. So I don't feel sorry when somebody dies. Like even my gran, like she was a wonderful person, she was a great human being, and she was really good to me. But I'm just like, but she's dead, she's old, and that's what happens, and I don't have that emotional capacity to do that. But at the same time, I'm still empathetic rather than sympathetic, so I can still be empathetic, i.e. I can still understand why that person is feeling the way they're feeling.
Aye.
But I can't understand it. At the same time, I can't understand it. I know why they're doing that, but at the same time, I can't get my head around why people cry when people die, because right, my dad died when I was a young boy, that was different, but when old people die and I'm sitting there and I'm going, but they've had a full life, and maybe that's just because I lost my dad at 18 and he was only 50 and my stepdad was 46, and then I see people at 90 dying and I'm like, but that's what you do at that age, that's just a normal thing to happen. And I'm like, but if somebody young dies then I feel sorry. I don't know, I'm just rabbiting on now, I'm really sorry.
As always, Paul.
Talking about emotions during lockdown, in fact, I wouldn't even say use lockdown as the excuse. I think it was kind of towards the end of lockdown. It would have been about July, so there'd been a lot more freedom then. My emotions would have been all over the place. So the slightest wee thing got me. This is how bad it was. Sitting watching Lorraine Kelly. Our last day, finishing up for our summer holidays. They played, I think is it Coldplay or something? And she was leaving. And she started greeting. And what did I do? I started greeting. And Lorraine Kelly. I mean, come on.
That's excellent, though. But it's hard. It's a lot of people are introverts, and when the lockdown started, a lot of these people that are so used to being out and talking to people, a bit like myself, doing kind of the job, and
but songs do get to you.
Weird.
Songs do get to you. Like seeing that, obviously Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol was my first dance at my wedding, and every time I hear that I break down and cry. No, because it reminds me of better times, just because it reminds me of being married. I go, oh, remember I was married. Why would you do that? When I'm divorced, I am having a party because I really like
but
having.
Don't say that bit can stay in,
I'll
because
say
then
it.
people will go, what's been cut out?
Let me say it again.
Right, hold on. You ready?
Yes.
Go.
I'm having, by the way, I get these papers in, right, and it's about my divorce, and obviously my wife is she's decided that she wants to divorce me, and it's and I'm just wondering, is it going to cost me a penny? If this isn't going to cost me a penny, I'm the only reason I'm still married is because my divorce was going to cost me money. If I could get a free divorce, I'd have been divorced years ago. But unfortunately, I'm very tight. But anyway, I got the letter in, and we're getting divorced, and it's all hunky-dory, and I think she's going to pay for it. So yes, I'm having the money I'm saving, I'm having a party. I'm going to have a buffet, a cake. There's going to be a band.
You could be your own DJ.
I'm getting a band.
A band?
You could be
DJ I Am Paul.
I am Paul.
DJ Donna Stoner official.
DJ I Am Paul. Hello.
I think what we should do is end this by asking just a couple of quick fire questions
Yes.
to Ross. What
Go
do you
for
think?
it. Go for it.
So,
Right.
Definitely.
first one is, you'd answer this with a couple of names, but have you got a couple of favourite TikTok pages?
Littlest Chicken. I like Leanor.
Who we're hoping to get one?
Starkey.
Thank you.
Donna Stoner.
He's only saying that because he's sitting
Doug
next to me.
Keat. Yeah, I got Doug Keat in. And there's too many to name.
Too many to name.
Aye.
There is a lot, isn't there?
There is.
Nobody knows what mine is anyway, so nobody will ever see it.
You need to you tell me.
No, I'm not doing it for that. I
Right,
don't
so
care.
next question.
You're asking the next one?
I didn't know I was asking a question. I thought you would. See when you said a quick fire questions, I thought you had them already ready to rock.
Right, I'll do one then. Well, Paul's thinking of one. Where do you want to be at the end of lockdown? What kind of job do you want? Where do you want to be with your life?
What kind of job do I want? Anything with money.
No, you thought about you being an actor or something, or performance.
Well, I have applied for college
Well done.
to do NC acting. I did do it before but it was about 10 years ago. So I thought maybe I might reset it and re-jog the memory again instead of just getting into a HNC. So I have applied, so hopefully I hear back for it. But I've applied for like 40 jobs in like customer service, retail, care work, whatever, and hopefully I'll hear something back.
Ugh, you will. You will.
Yeah, you will.
What's for you will only go by you.
I always say that.
Very true. That's a very true statement. You got a question?
Yeah. What's your favourite video that you've posted?
Well, that is a good one.
It's got to be the Ricky Fulton one.
The Ricky Phil. Do you know, I haven't seen it yet, so as soon as we finish here today, I'm going to go on that and find it.
In fact, you know what we'll do? We'll play it in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Have you all had a fabulous day? If you've no luck, better luck the bother. I've had a fabulous day, as you can tell, for the delight on my face. My smile's beaming, from ear to ear. It's been that fabulous. I think I'll treat myself to some of this lovely water. But for now, I hope you all have a fabulous night. I need to go to the lavatory. There's a lavatory.
There you go. This is video. Use it.
Yes.
Obviously, you can't see it, but at least everybody heard it.
Should do that more often. In fact,
Aye.
what we'll do is we'll do a wee...
No, you're not doing any of yours.
Thank God.
It'll just be a whole hour of Paul. It's just
Loving
been music.
himself. Loving himself.
No pictures. It's just going to be raunchy music for an hour.
Aye. Paul stripping off for the waist up.
Boys to men.
Standing in front of that fan. The Michael Jackson Earth song. Oh, too funny. And what advice would you give somebody that's just starting out?
Just be yourself. Don't look for followers. Just be yourself. Just don't care what anybody thinks of you.
That's the best advice I've heard.
Yep. And I think we should end it by you telling everybody your name on your page and your slogan.
Mine, well, I've got a couple of slogans, but my name is Rossy Roscoe, and hello, you beautiful people, and I hope you're all having a magic water.
Yay! Brilliant.